Uvululota uvanga Bobby Lynn Kalutakrak Itta Utqiagvik Milgurunga Apaga Gordon Brower Sr. Akaga Mary Jane Lang. My name is Bobby Lynn Kalutakrak Itta. I was born and raised in Utqiagvik, Alaska, formerly known as Barrow. My parents are Gordon Brower and Mary Jane Lang. Growing up in Barrow, I started skin sewing when I was 12 or 13. Then as I got older, I had my first child. I was 18 when I had her, and my aunt, Florence Iñupiaq Brower, got me into doing top of the world baby contests up in Barrow, Utqiagvik now, and I just fell in love with, our traditional fur parkas, our traditional garments that we wore, and I wanted to bring them back and recreate them so I could wear them, my children could wear them. And in 2010, I started my small business. I just started using the sewing machine in 2010. So before that was all skin sewing. And then I just started, I kind of learned a lot from my aunt, but I was also self-taught. My mom's also a seamstress. She sews for our family. She's sewn for us when we were kids, and she sewed for us so that we could stay warm. And so I did the same thing with my children. I sewed for them so that they could stay warm because it's freezing cold up there. And then it just became, I started posting on Facebook, and people really liked my work, and then they started asking me to make clothes for them. And so from there, I started my small business. It was Hallelujah Designs first, and then I changed it to Bobby Itta Designs over the years, and then I changed it over last year to Arctic Luxe, just to have a more high-end business name. And at first it was for my family, and then it became, I've always loved fashion ever since I was in middle school, and I just love bright colors and, the way modern clothes, coats are. And when I would see a coat online and be like, how can I indigenize that? How can I put my culture into that, throw some fur on it, and wear it every day? When I was young, it wasn't really it wasn't cool to be Inupiaq from our culture, and it was kind of with fashion, what I'm doing now, it's taking it back, making our culture cool, and everybody, you can wear it every day, and, be proud of who you are. And that's what I'm, that's what I feel like I'm just embracing my culture, because I can't speak my language, so I show it through my fashion and my work. So my first fashion show was here at the Heritage Center, Alaska Native Heritage Center, posted about the Village Vogue fashion show, and it was an unconventional fashion show, and something I was just like, I'm gonna try it, see what I think. Never did a fashion show before, so I actually made a Arctic dress out of blue tarp, and the trim was made out of tinfoil, and then my oldest daughter designed the shoes. We'd cover the shoes with blue painter's tape to match the dress. And so here at the Heritage Center was my first fashion show. And there was a cousin of mine that was doing makeup, and I'd never really met her before because I'm related to everyone. She was she wanted me to do some work for ASRC, for a corporation we have the Ivalu Gala every year. And so she reached out to me and then was like, can you make something for our gala? We're doing a fashion show. And I was like, okay, I can try, but never done anything like that. Besides, the show I just did here at the Heritage Center. And this time they were like, there was this big round circle chair, and it was strips of sealskin of different colors, like a blue, the gray, and then the light colored. And then they're like, can you make a dress to go with this for the show? And I was like, okay, I can draw something up, So I sketched in my sketchbook, and then we had another meeting, and they're like, what if you just make a corset? That way you can just put a skirt with it. And I was like, okay. So I went to Joann Fabrics, found a pattern for a corset, and then just started, cut out the pattern, traced it all out, got my sealskin, traced out the sealskin, and then cut it out and sewed it together, and it was amazing. I just like something I'd just never done before. It just turned out amazing, and it's still now one of my best pieces that I do. You can use them for weddings, work, anytime really, to go out, fashion shows, whatever you want. So after doing that show, it was just like more people would reach out to me, and they just loved my work. And for a while, I was just doing like really custom pieces, but then people started asking about parkas. That was like what everyone wanted. It was just such a high demand for parkas. And so I also got into like printed clothing. So I have printed clothing lines. And then how I got to New York Fashion Week, there's an artist, Victoria's Arctic Fashion in Canada, had applied for a venue called Flying Solo, which was out of New York City, and you have to apply and hopefully you get in. It was really scary to like put myself out there and like ask, because it's not Indigenous, and there's so many people that are anti-fur and anti-leather, and like I use all of that because it's part of our culture. And and this Flying Solo is an independent, like a independent fashion design house in New York. And so since Victoria got in and she did really well with them, I was like confident enough to apply. And I had applied, I think it was last year, and I waited. I think it took a couple months, and then I got a letter of acceptance saying, would you like to join us? This is the venue fee. Do you want to join us in New York? And I'm like freaking out because I'm like, what the heck? You want me? So I think there were over 2,000 applicants, and I think there were 70 to 100 designers at the show, at the show last week. And yeah, it's just, being there was really like surreal. I don't know, like I was so nervous about it. It took me a year to prepare ahead of time to get all my pieces done for the show. I had to sacrifice a lot. I'm a single mom of 4. My business, my parkas like feed my children, they pay for all my bills. So I sacrificed a lot to be able to show all these parkas on the runway. And, to show people that, we're still here, to represent my people at home, my culture. It's a big thing. Like Alaska Native, and I'm representing Alaska all the way in New York.
Thank you so much.
Yes, I had an entourage. I had all my Alaska Native lady friends come along with me. My best friend, Bonnie Sheely, she's from Nome, and she's a reindeer herder, and she is my assistant. She helped me through so much there. If it wasn't for her, I would have been so stressed out. She really helped me prepping for the show, being there during the show. She always was like, had my back throughout everything, you know, from filming, taking pictures, navigating everything, just helping me with my models, dressing them, choosing which ones would go with, you know, which parka and accessories. She was really like, just, she's always been my like right-hand woman. And then I also had Shyanne Beatty for support. I had Raina Thiel, Tiffany Tudikoff, Laurel Kachete came along with me too. Such a great group of strong women, you know, that I look up to, and everyone's so supportive, and it was overall just an amazing trip. So now that I've left New York, I found out that a few of my parkas are pictured or will be pictured. They're pictured in Italy, Harper's Bazaar, Italy. I think there was a few more, but I forgot the names. Yeah, so it's just like mind-blowing to see just the like the exposure, because in the application or after you got in, they explain that you're gonna have like 14 million viewers. And so like there's so much exposure for your business, and I think they did a really good job with that. So I'm excited to see what's gonna come from all of this. It's just feels like it was a good show, and it's legit, like real. Like being there just felt like a dream. Like we went there, you know, did everything, and we're done now. It's just crazy. So you can find me on my website, www.arcticluxe.com. I'm also on Instagram, Arctic Luxe _ at the end, and then on my Facebook page, you can look up Arctic Luxe. I post most of my stuff on Facebook. And the next thing, so next weekend, I'll be showing my collection with Trend Alaska's fashion show with Alaska Airlines at the Porsche dealership here in Anchorage. So I just want to say, Iñupiaq, thank you to everyone that supported me through all of this, through my whole career of sewing and all the fashion shows. You know, without you guys, I wouldn't be able to get this far in my career. And everyone that, you know, donated, I really appreciate it. It really helped me and my family. You know, you're supporting me and my family, which is, it's just, thank you so much. And to our youth out there, I want you to know that our culture is amazing. Our culture is beautiful. Don't feel ashamed about being Native, you know, it's, you know, follow your dreams. Don't ever let anyone tell you that you can't do something, because you can do anything you want. And Iñupiaq to the Alaska Native Heritage Center for this interview.